علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. رب زدني علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها إلا لنعلم من يتبع الرسول ممن ينقلب على عقبيه وإن كانت لكبيرة إلا على الذين هدى الله وما كان الله ليضيع إيمانكم إن الله بالناس لرؤوف رحيم. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. So this is a continuation of the narrative regarding the Qibla. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala basically says, He says, وَمَا جَعَلْنَا الْقِبْلَةَ الَّتِي كُنْتَ عَلَيْهَا. So it basically means, and so we have not made that Qibla, that direction that you were facing, that you were previously upon, except so that we would know who would follow Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, as opposed to those who would turn on their heels. So here we need to clarify a bit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything from time immemorial and continuously. So there's nothing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know. So what does this mean? So therefore the ulama mentioned that they call this ilm al-dhuhur. In other words, so that it may become manifest. In other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows full well who's going to do what, but that it becomes manifest and becomes plain in front of the entire creation, that who is actually the follower and who is not. Wallahu a'lam. وَإِنْ كَانَتْ لَكَبِيرَةً إِلَّا عَلَى الَّذِينَ هَدَى اللَّهُ. And for the changing of Qibla from one direction to the next, which we're going to look into with a little more detail, that was quite a heavy test. It's a very severe test. So severely, in fact, that people who are weak, they got a bit shaky. And in fact, as the ayat mentioned, some actually turned on their heels, particularly those the munafiqeen and others who were just on the fringe. إِلَّا عَلَى الَّذِينَ هَدَى اللَّهُ. So it was difficult for those except those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave special guidance and special tawfiq to follow His guidance. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِالنَّاسِ لَرَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to let your iman go to waste, your iman and the outcome of the iman, which we're going to explain in more detail, inshallah. Again, shortly, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, number one, what was the Qibla that they were upon and what was the Qibla that they were changed to? Obviously, they were changed, the Qibla was changed in Medina Munawwara after about 16 or 17 months of facing Bayt al-Maqdis. That's muttafaq alayh, that was the Qibla which Nabi alayhi salatu adopted when he came to Medina Munawwara, and we probably mentioned earlier that perhaps the wisdom behind that, or one of the main salient wisdoms that we can understand, was to sort of bring the Jewish community closer, to Islam by honoring their Qibla and honoring their direction in worship. However, after 16, 17 months, it became also apparent that they were not really interested, except for a very few of them. So that wisdom or that premise soon was no longer valid, and the Qibla was changed to Kaaba al-Musharrafa. So the first Qibla was what? Was it the Kaaba or was it Bayt al-Maqdis? So Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he mentions that, or his opinion is that it was actually from the beginning, it was actually Bayt al-Maqdis. Now the interesting thing is that Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam would actually pray between, just like the place of Imamah now is between the Hajar al-Aswad and Rukn al-Yamani, the black stone and the Yemeni Rukn. So in pointing in that direction, actually the Kaaba is in front of the Imam. But actually that's also in the direction towards Bayt al-Maqdis. So it's actually through the Kaaba, or directing towards the Kaaba, and then onward to Bayt al-Maqdis. So this is the opinion of Abdullah ibn Abbas, that actually it was Bayt al-Maqdis and it remained until it was ultimately changed back to the Kaaba. Another opinion was, no, it was actually It was actually the Kaaba originally, which was uh, of course, the Qibla of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. It was the original Qibla of the Millat Ibrahim alayhi salam. And after reaching to Medina Munawwara, then it was changed. Nabi Islam gave the decision to change the Qibla towards Baitul Maqdis, and then it was again changed. Whatever the case may be, uh, in any case, uh, the change of the Qibla from Bayt al-Maqdis to Kaaba, that was the sort of the litmus test and the, as we say, the acid test of the iman and the forbearance of those. Because now, after establishing Medina and everybody's watching, the Jewish community and everybody else, and now all of a sudden they changed their Qibla. So this was a very heavy test. Who is going to do that? Who is going to look towards the order of Allah? And who's going to be, fearful of the ridicule of the creation? And so we have several other points as the time is taken up now. So we'll undertake a couple more points, inshallah, in the next couple of days, the next day or two, بإذن الله تعالى. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم.